And we are looking into yet another claim about The Simpsons predicting a big news event.
From the American tragedy to Donald Trump's shock presidency, show writers have created scenes that spookily go on to mirror real life. Dubbed crazy coincidences or claims the people working on The Simpsons can see into the future, there have been many suspicions about how they have managed to predict so many world events. And their latest prediction for America in 2024 has left fans terrified. Not only that, but The Simpsons also terrifies the whole world with these shocking predictions. Join us because we're diving into these surprising predictions in 2024. Donald Trump is coming back to the throne? Let's start with the most widely circulated prediction. The second time The Simpsons took a peek into the future, Lisa became President of the United States. In a cabinet meeting, she offhandedly mentions, "We inherited quite the budget crunch from President Trump." It initially was a reference to Trump attempting a run as a Reform Party candidate, but the words gained much more validity when Trump was elected president in 2016. The week after the election, the recurring chalkboard gag even read, "Being right sucks." The line gained more attention when Trump announced he was running for president yet again in a bid for 2024, which incidentally is the year that The Simpsons had originally predicted. Once again, The Simpsons has proved prescient, as the long-running animated series correctly predicted that Donald Trump would run for president in 2024. After Trump announced he would be running for office for a third time, people around the world flocked to share an image from a 2015 episode of the multi-time Emmy-winning series. In the picture, Homer is seen flying through the air as a Trump 2024 campaign sign stands in the background. This image comes from an episode titled Trumptastic Voyage. The mini-episode sees Homer embark on an extraordinary journey after a close encounter with Donald Trump's hairpiece. "In order to make America great and glorious again, I am announcing my candidacy for President of the United States," the former president said. This is not the first time this famous movie mentioned Trump. Lisa did actually reference Donald Trump being president in an episode that aired in 2000. Donald Trump has already been president once and has been outspoken about the policies he would support and enact if elected again in November. He's promised mass deportations of millions of migrants and suggested the United States would not defend foreign allies from aggression in certain circumstances. He's vowed to eviscerate the federal bureaucracy and staff those career civil service roles with political loyalists, uses law enforcement to target foes, and paints a dire picture of America's future if he does not return to the White House. Trump expanded upon that vision for a second term, which would buck traditional conservative viewpoints about the role of government and expand the powers of the presidency that he would then wield against a wide range of groups in America. Currently, Trump is facing quite a few challenges on his path back to the White House. Suppose Trump actually becomes the President of the United States in the final race this coming November. In that case, The Simpsons will surely make a big splash because, once again, another prediction from this show would have come true. Alan Lichtman, often dubbed the Nostradamus of U.S. presidential elections, has garnered a reputation for his uncanny ability to predict election outcomes, with a track record of accurately foreseeing 9 out of the past 10 U.S. presidential elections. To accurately predict who will occupy the Oval Office, Lichtman has designed what he calls 13 keys to the White House, a groundbreaking method that revolutionized election forecasting. The keys, comprising a series of true or false questions, assess various factors, including economic performance, social stability, and incumbent charisma. Through careful analysis spanning historical data since Abraham Lincoln's era, Lichtman has crafted a predictive model that transcends conventional methods used by traditional psephologists. I have not made a final prediction yet, but I do have a model for 13 keys to the White House, which have been correct since 1984, 10 elections in a row. And the way it works is if 6 or more of the 13 keys go against the White House party incumbent, they are predicted losers, and if fewer than 6, then they are predicted winners. Right now, a lot would have to go wrong for Joe Biden to lose this election. He's at the moment down by just 2 keys, Lichtman told us. Lichtman predicted that Biden is expected to be challenged for a second time by Donald Trump, and now it becomes very true. Despite initial skepticism from the forecasting community, Mr. Lichtman's methodology proved its worth time and again. From Ronald Reagan's re-election triumph amid economic recession to Bill Clinton's victory against George Bush, Lichtman correctly predicted crucial poll contests in the U.S. The 13 keys to the White House as designed by Lichtman are as follows. The first one is party mandate. Post-midterm elections, the incumbent party secures more U.S. House of Representatives seats than in the previous midterms. Next, pay attention to the key nomination contest. There's no significant challenge to the incumbent party's nomination. Incumbency is the third key. The sitting president represents the incumbent party. Number 4 is the third party factor. There's no noteworthy third party or independent campaign. Short-term economic stability is the next one. The economy doesn't face recession during the election period. Continued with long-term economic growth. Real per capita economic growth equals or surpasses the average growth of the preceding 2 terms. Policy shift is the next key. The incumbent administration enacts major alterations in national policy. Continued with social stability. There's no prolonged social unrest throughout the term. Scandal-free. The incumbent administration remains free from major scandals. Foreign military mishaps. No significant failures occur in foreign or military affairs under the incumbent administration. Foreign military triumphs. The incumbent administration achieves significant successes in foreign or military matters. Incumbent charm. The incumbent party's candidate possesses charisma or enjoys national hero status. Challenger appeal. The opposing party's candidate lacks charisma or national hero status. Surely, you all have your own choices for the next occupant of the White House. Leave a comment below this video with your prediction. Then, in November, come back to check if your guess was correct. Will the Simpsons make history once again? And will Lichtman's 13 keys really be effective in drawing the final conclusion? So now, let's get back to the wild antics of Homer Simpson, and his family have made the show gain popularity as a reliable source of accurate predictions. From the unveiling of Apple's latest tech marvel, the Vision Pro, to the harrowing whispers of World War III and the groundbreaking strides towards colonizing Mars, this journey through the Simpsons' 2024 predictions will leave you questioning reality. Are we on the brink of witnessing Trump's dramatic return to power, or perhaps the dawn of the first female presidency? Will our dining experiences transcend to the virtual world, or will baby's babbles finally find a voice? Female presidency. On January 20th, 2021, Kamala Harris was sworn into power as the Vice President of the United States. This was a day that will forever be etched in the nation's history, as she became the first woman and the first African American to attain the position. But what if we could take that up a notch? What if America welcomed its first female president in the year 2024? Sounds like a dream, right? The producers of The Simpsons seem to think this was a plausible idea. Let me take you back to episode 17 of the show's 11th season, titled Bart to the Future. In this episode, Lisa becomes the first female president of the U.S. after claiming the seat from former President Trump. Maybe it's because it's election season in America, or maybe the scenes just seemed destined for fulfillment. Many Americans are hopeful that the dream of a female presidency will become a reality in this election year. If that happens, it could become one of the most monumental events in American history. Many have tried in the past, but no one has ever claimed the crown. First, there was the legendary Victoria Woodhull. She became the first female presidential candidate in the United States back in 1872. Although there is some dispute surrounding the legality of her candidacy, Woodhull is generally considered the first woman to set her sights on the highest seat in the land. She obviously didn't eventually win the race, but her candidacy cleared the path for other women like her in the world of politics and leadership. Then, there was Margaret Chase Smith, who became the first candidate for a major political party after she was nominated by the Republicans in 1987. However, she couldn't make it out of the primaries after qualifying for 6 state primaries. Coming in second, Illinois with 25% of the votes, and Chase was followed by Charlene Mitchell. Charlene Mitchell also made history after she became the first African-American woman to run for president in America. It was the year 1968, and she also holds the record of the first woman. Then, of course, Shirley Chisholm became the first African-American woman to run for president under the Democratic Party. After Chisholm lost at the polls, it took another 36 years for another woman to appear on the ballots under the Democratic Party. The next woman was Hillary Clinton in 2008. In the July 2016 elections, Hillary Clinton became the first woman to win the popular vote with a massive, staggering 66 million votes, as opposed to Trump's. The record remains unbroken till today. But could 2024 be the year that America crowns its first female president? No one can predict the flow of fate, but if the Simpsons are right again, then a woman will be America's first female president in 2024. It would become one of the most memorable moments in history. Applivision Pro. Just in the early hours of 2024, The Simpsons recorded another win following the release of Apple's new groundbreaking product, the Apple Vision Pro. The company had been teasing this new product for quite a while. Finally, on February 2, 2024, the Vision Pro was released to the public. It has since become the talk of the town. This new virtual reality headset allows viewers to enjoy a range of hyper-realistic VR experiences. But is this really the first time the world is being introduced to this product? Maybe not. Back in 2016, The Simpsons released an episode titled Friends and Family. In the predictive scenes that unfolded, Mr. Burns hired Marge, Bart, Lisa, and Maggie to play his live-in virtual reality family as a trial run for a new headset that bears an uncanny resemblance to the Vision Pro. As soon as the product became available to the public, Springfield erupted in chaos. It didn't take long for everyone to become addicted to the new craze. Soon, people were falling down manholes and walking into lampposts. While distracted by these futuristic headsets, how could The Simpsons predict the invention of such a product 6 years before it was ever announced? Was it black magic or just a stroke of luck? So this may end up being a big, fat coincidence. Even though it would make sense to dismiss the scenario as a mere coincidence, The Simpsons have done this so many times that it's quite hard to dispute them at this point. But The Simpsons' predictions aren't limited to tech gadgets and inventions. Sometimes, they even make political predictions. World War III. As we explore the darkest Simpsons predictions for the year 2024, we traveled back in time to November 1987, when the show was just in its second season. On November 22, 1987, The Simpsons released the 16th short of the series. It was titled World War III. Until today, it remains one of the most uncanny episodes ever released. Although it was masked as satire, the episode followed the story of Homer Simpson as he tried to prepare his family for the Third World War. It opens with Homer frantically waking up everyone in the house with an alarm that World War III had started and the bombs were dropping. Homer Simpson shouted, "Wake up, everybody! It's World War III! Down to the fallout shelter! The bombs are dropping!" Thankfully, everyone was able to make it into the bomb shelter within just 18 seconds. But then, Homer revealed that he was only joking, and that there were, in fact, no bombs dropping. But could this seemingly satirical episode be a premonition of things to come? Could this Simpsons episode become reality just like others before it? Our world is in serious trouble. Look at what is happening in Israel and Palestine, Russia and Ukraine, the US and China. There are also some minor conflicts in some parts of the world which are impossible to ignore. With these staggering figures, many experts continue to argue that the world is in a state of war already. We are moving closer to an official world war. As the tensions between the United States and other world powers like Russia, China, and North Korea continue to escalate, we could already be in the corridors of the Third World War, but is it going to happen in this year? Let's wait and see. AI takeover. In episode 17 of the show's 23rd season, The Simpsons delivered yet another shocking prediction, which may likely become a reality in 2024. The episode follows the adventure of Homer and his boss, Mr. Burns. After being advised by his lawyer that his human employees were costing him more money than necessary, Mr. Burns fires all his employees. Then, he replaces them with robots. The town experienced a 99% unemployment rate, except for Homer, who was retained to keep up with the robot maintenance. The robots would eventually turn on the humans as they tried to murder both Homer and Mr. Burns. They were eventually saved by the town's people, the people of Springfield. That was the end of the story. But those of us in the real world are left to grapple with the possibility of that becoming a reality. This brings us to the question, will artificial intelligence ever take over the world? We've seen it play out in many science fiction movies. Of course, The Simpsons have predicted it a couple of times. But it's 2024, the year when AI turns on humans. Believe it or not, that's actually quite possible. Here's one of the reasons why. A new study published in January 2024 revealed that certain AI programs are capable of resisting the sophisticated safety methods designed to keep them in check. This study was carried out by a team of scientists at the AI safety and research company, Anthropic, and their findings are nothing short of terrifying. By programming several large language models to behave maliciously, this research company tries to prepare for the worst-case scenario and develop new techniques to bring an AI program back under control if it ever slips out. But as the researchers found out during their study, some of these large language models had learned how to ignore the training technique and maintain their rebellious ways. These AI programs have also learned to conceal their rogue actions during training. So detecting which program is working under control and which one is not can be quite tricky. Experts believe that artificial intelligence will affect society and the economy in many ways, many of which are quite negative. For example, recent innovations in the field of robotics and artificial intelligence have raised concerns that human labor may eventually become obsolete. Just like in The Simpsons episode, people were beginning to lose their jobs to AI. Many believe it will get even worse in 2024. As AI replaces the traditional labor system, imagine one machine being able to do the work of 10 people in a fraction of the time. It's the perfect way to save money. But if you thought that would only affect blue-collar jobs, you would be very wrong. Artificial intelligence has penetrated every single field, including education, journalism, and legal research. Every sector could become fully digitized, and our species could find itself at the mercy of machines. Baby translator. Baby talk is one of the most adorable things in the world, but sadly, no one has any idea what these little cuties talk about. But what if we could? What if humans could actually decrypt the babblings of a little baby? The Simpsons saw this coming many years ago, and they foretold its invention. In the final episode of the show's third season, titled "Brother, Can You Spare a Dime?", Homer's half-brother Herb invents a gizmo that could translate a baby's words. At the start of the episode, Herb, who had lost his fortune in an earlier episode, approached Homer to lend him $2,000 to develop a new product, which could translate a baby's babblings into real words. The idea turned out to be quite successful. Herb made a whole lot of money. But was this just another crazy idea or a prediction of things to come? As it turns out, this prediction may actually become reality in the year 2024. As crazy as it may seem, a company known as Zoundream is currently working on making the technology accessible to everyone. According to the company's website, Zoundream claims to have a non-invasive monitoring system that will help parents and pediatricians determine the needs of infants and toddlers. Agreeably, there are dozens of software and apps available online that claim to be able to interpret baby talk and cries. But at the end of the day, most of them turn out to be fake. So what makes ZoomDream any different? Well, ZoomDream claims to employ artificial intelligence in their analysis through a pioneering system that provides sound-based solutions that are more accurate than other competing technologies. As our understanding of artificial intelligence continues to broaden, the prediction given by The Simpsons could be closer to reality than we know. If everything goes as planned, we could be holding a real working baby translator in our hands before the end of 2024. Colonizing Mars. On March 13, 2016, episode 16 of The Simpsons' 27th season aired. It was titled The Marge Ian Chronicles, and it featured one of the most interesting predictions ever made by the show. In this episode, Homer Simpson and his family are selected for a special program that will take them on a space flight to the planet Mars. After surviving a simulated habitat for a week, all the males proved to be quite useless for the project. Lisa and Marge, on the other hand, proved to be highly skilled, and they made it through the final selection. Unfortunately, when it was time for liftoff, the engines failed to ignite. And it was later revealed that the project as a whole had been fake from the very beginning. The twist in the story was, however, that Marge and Lisa eventually made it to Mars. Although it would eventually happen in 2051, how does this relate to real life? Lisa Simpson said, "My life. If I want to leave Mars and move to Venus, you can't stop me." That's where Elon Musk comes in. At this point, it isn't news that the SpaceX CEO is on a mission to colonize Mars and transform the inhabitable red planet into our second home. But what most people don't know is that in 2020, Musk revealed his plans to launch the first crewed mission to Mars. In a December interview with Matthias Dupfner, the CEO of Axel Springer SE, a German media company, Musk stated that he was highly confident that SpaceX would launch people toward the red planet in 2026. But if luck was on their side, it might even be as early as 2024. Sadly, SpaceX didn't really get that lucky. In 2023, Musk revealed that Mars enthusiasts may need to wait a bit longer to visit the red planet, as it might take another 3 to 4 years before the dream would become reality. He also revealed that with the development of his new Starship rocket, life on Mars could be right at our fingertips. Imagine being able to book an interplanetary flight from our green Earth to places that are light years away. It could be the singular most monumental achievement in human history. Who knows? Maybe by 2051, there will be more Mars cities than anyone can count. At least by then, The Simpsons will be able to say, "We told you so." Virtual reality food. If you thought the prediction on the Vision Pro was crazy, you should see the latest tech gadget The Simpsons already predicted in the year 2000. To understand this one, we have to travel to episode 17 of season 11, which was accurately titled Virtual Reality Food. In this particular episode, Homer and Marge Simpson can be seen indulging in a VR dining experience with their headsets on and a straw through which they receive a fudge that strangely tasted like anything they could imagine. It was like the perfect mix of technology and fantasy. But could it be a real thing? As the world becomes more and more digitally integrated, could we transform our meals into digital delicacies? Apparently, yes, we can. Meet Aerobanquet's RMX, a company that promises a culinary experience like you've never ever had. Imagine being transported to the digital cosmos, a place where the impossible does not exist. Imagine dining among the stars and enjoying a culinary experience in a world beyond the physical. This is the vision of Aerobanquet's RMX. The innovation is the brainchild of artist Mattia Casalegno and a team of professional chefs and restaurant owners. But dining in the virtual world isn't just about the food. For just $125, diners get 7 bite-sized courses. But then, with every taste, they are transported into a whole new world. However, the technology isn't quite there yet. Only 4 people at a time can dine at the restaurant, and each of them will require the full-time service of a waiter. However, many experts believe that this idea may actually pick up in the future. Or what good is a futuristic Earth when our food hasn't been digitized? With the giant strides that are being made in the field of virtual reality these days, it wouldn't come as a surprise to see such technology become commonplace in the near future. 15 years ago, who could imagine that a gadget as advanced as an Oculus headset could become generally accessible to the public? VR technology has infiltrated homes and governments, and its influence continues to spread. This dream of digital dining may or may not happen in 2024. Remember, you saw it first on The Simpsons. Black Hole, Treehouse of Horror. 23 is another Simpsons episode that seems to accurately predict the future. The episode was released on October 7, 2012, and it was so good that it received an Emmy nomination. There was something eerie about the storyline. In this episode, the people of Springfield gathered to witness the activation of the town's particle accelerator. But as soon as the device was turned on, 2 particles collided with each other, creating a small black hole, which then floated off. This was the beginning of unimaginable horrors. After the black hole sucks up Ralph and Nelson, Lisa takes it home to keep it away from Trouble. However, this turned out to be a huge mistake. Even after warning Homer and Bart not to throw anything into the hole so as to prevent it from getting bigger, the father and son turned a deaf ear to this warning as expected. They even went as far as opening a business to allow people to throw their junk into the black hole for just a small fee. But the more they filled the hole, the bigger it became. Soon, it became so big that it started swallowing everything around it. Before you could say apotro, Springfield was lost in the belly of the beast, followed by the rest of the world. This could have been one of those predictions that get taken for granted until you consider one tiny detail. Lisa Simpsons revealed, "Guys, stop throwing things in the hole. The more you throw in, the bigger and more dangerous it becomes." In January 2024, India decided to step up their space game by launching a new X-ray satellite to help broaden our understanding of the universe. Its mission is to study several cosmic bodies, including supernovae, neutron stars, and of course, black holes. Coincidence? I don't think so. But the most important question remains: can our planet be swallowed by a black hole? The short answer is no. Despite the abundance of black holes in the universe, Earth is actually not at risk of being swallowed by one of them. This is because at a distance, the gravitational pull of a black hole is no more compelling than a star of the same size. This means that even if our sun was replaced with a black hole, our planet would still remain in orbit. What this means is that our planet can be marked safe from this prediction of impending doom, at least for now. But even if we escaped being pulled apart, cell by cell, by a black hole, this next prediction seems destined to happen. But delving even deeper into the mysteries surrounding the Simpsons predictions, we discover theories from skeptics and non-believers who are not convinced by these predictions. Even though some of them have come true over the years, many people believe that these were merely fortunate coincidences. If the Simpsons are not truly predicting the future, why did they consistently get everything right?